The program. Playing for the front of the jersey and not the back. It's bigger than even 1 year, one team. The program is built, sustained through the hard times, knowing the foundation is sound. Waterford boys basketball is a program. Under Bill Bassett, they have won state championships and been a threat in the ECC every year. Even when they struggle, they are dangerous. Parker Spencer is as dynamic as he is pestering, and with 4 new starters, he leads this new cast through the ups and downs. Big wins, blown leads. Waterford remains worth watching. Windham is one of the most overlooked programs in the ECC, winning a recent state championship and looking to control Division II in conference. 1,000-point scorer Malcolm Hunter is a quiet star, and vocal leader Andon Gonzalez quick to get these Whippets playing fast and feisty. Head coach Paul Martineau knows a win over Waterford will keep them at the top of the division. Both teams are coming off disappointing losses and need to get things right. The dog pound will be barking, and Lancer Nation promises to black out the X. It's a battle of the programs as the Waterford Lancers host the Windham Whippets, and all the action is on game day, live on theday.com.
Nothing more daunting than a must-win game, whether it's at home or away, and for the Waterford High School Lancers, the X needs to be friendly because there are no more losses on the schedule, and the Lancers need them all if they're going to head to the postseason. The Windham Whippets flying high, running like the dogs that they are, coming in here to the X to play the Lancers, and all the action is live on game day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Gear up for game day with a winning smile from Waterford Dental Health. We're your go-to top-notch dental care in a relaxed, friendly setting. Whether you need a routine checkup, a cosmetic boost, an advanced treatment, our experienced team has you covered. So enjoy the game with confidence and comfort. Go to Waterford Dental Health. Why don't you go schedule your appointment today? Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is our top priority. Casey O'Neill along with the coach, Chris Giusti, and there are no more there's no more room for error at this point in the schedule as teams start to head down the stretch. For Windham, they're looking to solidify their spot both in Division II and in the Division I seedings for the ECC tournament. For Waterford, they're going to try to scratch and claw. They need every win they can get to make the postseason.
Yeah, the safety net has been removed, so to speak, and Waterford, after having some struggles throughout the year, had a huge win on Friday night, knocking off the Griswold Wolverines in overtime, but then, unfortunately, a very tough loss on Monday against Morgan. So they're looking to bounce back tonight, and like you said, almost a must-win for the Lancers tonight against their division rival, the Windham Whippets. Windham had been kind of cruising. They have a up-paced style. They have a lot of shooters and scorers, but they also took a tough loss at home on Monday night against Coventry, a 2-point defeat. So they're also looking to bounce back. So both teams kind of need this game tonight in order to get some momentum again and establish seeding for the postseason.
I don't have a good handle on the league. We keep talking about this. Every time we get an answer, there's more questions. I don't really know what to make of this Waterford team. I really don't know just where Windham fits in the Division I, II landscape. Maybe the sports doctor can make some sense of it all. Sports doctor, be the voice of reason here.
Hey, Casey, I think both coaches are trying to make sense of the season. One team headed for postseason play. Coach Martineau really likes the way his team plays defense. Says they fall in love too much with the three-point line on the offensive end, but loves the way they play defense and they can lock things down. On the other hand, Waterford has a kid that can really cook in Parker Spencer, so let's see if Waterford can impose a little will. Coach Bill Bassett likes his team. They're growing and they're figuring things out, and they've got to do it pretty quick.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. Every time we think that we know what's going on with this Waterford team now, there's no better coach anywhere than Coach Bill Bassett. The guy can absolutely do it. And you expected the rough bumps in the road to start the season, right? Parker Spencer, a bunch of new players. And they did start to build. They started to kind of get better. And then those losses, like the other night, really confound you as a coach, because at the end of the season, if they're looking a game or two on the outside looking in, it's those games that are the reason.
Yeah, and that comes down to just having consistency within your team, and that's where you need that senior leadership and guys who have been there before. They're still trying to build that leadership within the group. They had a chance on Monday night to string a couple wins together, but that's a tough one. If they have to flush it, they can't think about it. They're at home tonight. The student section is pretty full tonight, so they're going to have an advantage. They must take care of business and defeat the Whippets tonight.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Windham as we see the blackout here from Lancer Nation, and it's filling in. So I went from being a mildly disappointed to mildly, I guess I'm going to give them a pass right now. We'll talk more about student sections. But Windham, I think they're the most overlooked program in the ECC. I mean, everyone mentions, Waterford state championships and the state championships from St. Bernard's, but people forget Windham won one more recently than that, and they've been at the top of the league. They've moved up now in Division 2, and now they're going to be in the Division 1 tournament, and they could be as high as like the 2 or 3 seed.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track. Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. They're in Division 2 regular season ECC, Division 1 ECC postseason tournament, Division 3 state tournament. So, yeah, they have to really make sure that when they face a team like Waterford that's kind of reeling and not having their best season, they have to be able to put their foot on the pedal and take care of business. We mentioned it last week in our broadcast. This is a game on the schedule that Windham should win, but it's anything but a gimme tonight.
And one thing that we should bring into it as well is these two teams have a great rivalry. We saw it on the football field this past year where they were bitter rivals, so physical. A lot of players on both sides played football. So some of these names are going to be familiar to you. Let's meet all of the players in tonight's game.
Joe Ryan Ponte, the Natchog Elementary School.
Eric Rivera Jr., Natchog Elementary.
D.R. Ramos, Natchog Elementary School.
Francisco Alvarado, the STEM Academy.
Malcolm Hunter, Charles H. Barrow STEM Academy.
Andrew Gonzalez, North Windham Elementary.
Darian Jenkins, Barrow STEM Academy.
Eddie Gonzalez, Windham Center School.
Damiano Adams, North Windham Elementary.
Donis Rodriguez, North Windham Elementary School.
Alexander Ion Pomo, the North Windham Elementary School.
Darian Sherwood, Kingsbury Elementary School.
Matthew Champagne, Quaker Hill Elementary.
Parker Spencer, Mary Morrison Elementary.
Galen Bordy, the Great Neck Elementary School.
Lucas Rassicott, Quaker Hill Elementary.
Colby Sheehan, Oswegatchie Elementary School.
Bowden Fagan, Great Neck Elementary School.
Carson Gallerani, the Quaker Hill Elementary.
Lincoln Wright, Oswegatchie Elementary School.
Ethan Stellick, Great Neck Elementary School.
Jacob Welch, Quaker Hill.
Donata Barnhill, Oswegatchie Elementary School.
Brooks Lane, Oswegatchie Elementary School.
Sophia Fioravante, nice job with the national anthem. And as we get ready for the starting lineups, let's talk a little bit about the deliciousness that is freshly squeezed juice. What are the keys tonight for the Windham Whippets?
Okay, Casey, for Windham, turn them over. Use your quickness and aggressive defense to create fast breaks and extra opportunities on offense. Get back. Waterford likes to get out and run. Make sure you play strong transition defense by getting back to protect against easy buckets. And the Hunter game. When in doubt, get the ball to Malcolm. The Whippet senior needs to demonstrate leadership tonight facing this raucous Lancer Nation cheering section.
Absolutely, and when you talk about Windham, they are going to get out. They're aggressive. They are a team that really has no measurable size to them whatsoever. You would think it would be very challenging, right, to overcome that lack of size. But they like to get out there They got shooters. They got ball handlers. I love the way they play. I love how tenacious they are. It's going to be very difficult for Waterford to overcome that. So what are the keys tonight for the Lancers?
Okay, Casey, for Waterford, fast, not rushed. The Lancers like to play fast, but they can't rush and make careless mistakes. Run when possible, but don't force the pass when it's not there. Good closeouts. Windham likes to shoot it from deep. Identify those open shooters on the perimeter and make them put the ball on the floor. And Spencer for hire. The Waterford point guard is one of the best scorers off the dribble in this league. He needs to be efficient tonight and make good decisions with the basketball.
Your officials tonight, Mr. Rich Cole, Mr. Anthony Malhoit, and Mr. Greg Keith. We got a nice 3-man crew, which is always welcome here in high school basketball. And, you know, I think we talked a little bit about the islands that exist in the ECC. You know, is St. Bernard on an island as the #1 team? Is New London clearly the second best team? They're playing Fitch tonight in a game. We'll try to give you updates. You know, where Windham fits and where Waterford fits, I really don't know. Tonight is a great opportunity to find out at home, in front of their kids, in front of their home fans, can Coach Bassett dial up something to improve on what we saw from the first time they played? And Coach Martineau, you know, this group is no strangers to winning. They're now moving into the sort of the place where they expect wins, right? They're no longer a surprise. They don't want to be thought of as a surprise. They want to be thought of as the hunters, literally, and not the hunted.
Yeah, and quite frankly, that win that Waterford had over Griswold on Friday really opened my eyes, because I am really impressed with that Wolverine squad. So if they're able to play like they did on Friday night, I think it's going to be really hard for Windham to win this game. This is a very difficult gym to shoot in. Windham's not accustomed to this backdrop. They play in quite the opposite facility. So I think this is going to be a closer game than maybe some expect.
Opening tip is brought to you by Kuchar Financial. When you want more than just tips, when you want sound financial planning, go see Lee Kuchar at Kuchar Financial in New London. He'll help you with all your investments, tax preparations. Feel better about your financial decisions, go to Kuchar Financial. Well, Malcolm Hunter feels better about his opening start because he buries the first 2 of the game for the Whippets.
Yeah, a little weave action, and they got their best player an open jump shot. Good play design to start the game for the Whippets.
Spencer, nice down low look, but Sheehan can't finish. And Windham brings the ball up in the hands of Crespo. Now the big man, Pomo. Open 3. Back iron, no good. Good offensive rebound. And put back from Andon Gonzalez, the sophomore.
No, that can't happen. They got the shot that they wanted. I'm telling you, it's going to be difficult. If Windham's going to shoot a lot of threes and the Lancers can get defensive rebounds, they could get out and run. They can't give up offensive rebounds.
Andon Gonzalez, such a vocal leader. He is the fire for the Whippets. Lombardi tried to get to the basket, and it was off a Whippet player. It'll stay underneath, and Champagne will inbound for Waterford. Hands, but Champagne comes back with it. Spencer for the open 3. Good! Parker Spencer knocks down a 3. Gets Waterford's first points.
Yeah, Waterford got a nice bounce there, and that might be the play they needed to spark their defense.
Crespo kicks out, swings it around. Nice look to Pomo underneath for the basket. Junior Alexander Pomo. And no, he's not height-wise big, but he's a wide body.
Yeah, it started with the closeout that allowed the middle drive. And once you allow that middle drive, it draws the help away, which allowed Pomo to get a good look at the basket.
Long 3 up, no good from Champagne. He can fill it up when he's feeling it. I'm sure he looked at the angle and the appropriate velocity of the basketball, but just came off a little bit. Drive into the lane, basket good from Crespo, and you can see the Whippets, they offensively are very talented.
Oh, 4 for 5 already from the field. So, in the one miss, they got the offensive rebounds.
Sheehan, Lombardi, now Spencer. Dangerous pass, too hard off Champagne, and it will stay here with Waterford. They're going to say Windham tipped it off. Nice effort from Champagne, and I think he's going to get a little bit of a bailout there because he was kind of in no man's land with that left hand.
But a good decision by Matt to take his man inside and use his size to draw the foul. I think Waterford has to do that a little bit more and not always settle for the three-point shot.
Foul is on Darian Jenkins, his first. And Champagne knocks down the free throw to cut the lead to 8-4. If you're wondering why this game got off late, a JV game that was a little longer than normal. Step in, steal, and the left-handed layup is good from Lombardi. The interception for Gabe Lombardi.
Yeah, a little lazy offensive execution. Windham likes to play this 4-out, 1-in offense. Just a lazy pass there.
An offensive foul as Spencer stood his ground and Hunter was a little out of control, and I think that's a good call right there. You can't just go all willy-nilly in the lane and then just throw it out and hope it's, good call.
Yeah, that's where you have to play off 2 feet there. He's got to land short and make the pass off 2 feet instead of on the run. Avoid that charge.
Open look, Champagne for 3. Good! Matt Champagne gives Waterford its first lead at 9-8.
Yeah, I think, Windham has to be careful. This Waterford team is desperate, and they're playing at home.
Hunter pulls it up, gets it back. Quick trigger 3, back iron. Does he get the bounce? No. Big rebound, Sheen. He got up high for that one.
As long as they can continue to limit Windham to one shot, that contested 3 is a shot they'll live with.
Spencer pulls up from 12 feet, too strong, and a good rebound by Gonzalez. Didn't see from behind Lombardi, but it goes out of bounds and it'll stay with the Whippets.
So after a little bit of a slow start, the Lancers have responded here. They got a fortuitous bounce on an inbounds play, and Parker Spencer drilled a 3 off a tipped ball, and ever since then, they've looked like a different team.
Block called there. Fouls on Lombardi. Jenkins will inbound right in front of the Lancer student section. Swinging the ball around to Crespo. Jenkins will shoot the 3, back iron, no good. Another rebound for Sheen.
Windham yet to hit a 3-point shot, 0 of 3 from downtown.
Up top, Lombardi being harassed by Hunter. Lombardi to the basket, and he'll get fouled and shoot 2. Gabe Lombardi, we know he's quick. He's a sprinter. On the football field, he was lightning fast. I think getting a little head of steam, you give him that one step, and he's going to be quick to the basket as well.
Yeah, and you continue to drive the ball. Drive, land on 2, kick it out, drive again. Put pressure on the defense to defend you. You put your opponent in foul trouble. You get to the free throw line to take nice 2 quiet shots. All right, and you get some confidence in yourself. If you come out and just shoot 3s and they don't fall, you start to fall into a funk.
Eric Rivera checks into the ball game, our first sub for Windham. He replaces Jenkins. Another for Gabe Lombardi. He was short on the first attempt. That one's no good, but a nice job by Champagne tipping it to Sheehan. Lombardi back with a wild left hand. 3-point lead for the Lancers.
He didn't want the two easy ones. He wanted the creative two.
That was indeed creative. That was a hop, jump stop off the 2 feet. In and out from Gonzalez. Rebound, Gallerani. I'm going to do that all night long. Gallerani with the rebound. It's not like I don't know his dad, you know. Father, Chris was a great player. Straightaway 3, back iron, no good. Off there, Sheehan with the offensive glass. And a friendly roll for Colby Sheehan. And a timeout. Paul Martineau wants a 30-second timeout.
Offensive rebounding, Casey. We saw it right from the beginning. Windham got the first offensive rebound in a putback, but since then, Waterford's been more dominant on the offensive boards, and that's why they've seized control of this game.
You know, Carson Gallerani, freshman, a lot of hype coming into the season, has kind of earned his way into the starting lineup, right? But it's the seniors, like Lombardi. That football success, to me, translates so much into basketball. We see it every year. A football team has a big year. We saw it with Stonington a few years ago. And those football players come in brimming with confidence. They're physical, they're aggressive, and they bring a different dynamic. So you look at this Waterford team, and there are some of those football players out there. Windham has some as well. I think it's a difference maker sometimes when you have the energy of a successful football season. We see it in soccer as well, right? A successful soccer season. Crespo being guarded by Spencer. Hunter ran a little weave with Gonzalez. Now Gonzalez will bark the play out for a win. Hunter hangs, gets his own rebound, back up again, no. Pomo there for the putback. And that's what Waterford had been doing well, right, Coach? They had been limiting them to 1. There's 2 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, they got to make sure that they get a body on the shooter. They let Hunter get his own rebound, and that started.
And there's Hunter getting into the passing lane and finishing on the other end. That's something he's very good at. Long pass in the other direction. Champagne finishes, but when you got we got 2 pitchers like Sheehan and Champagne, you're going to get those long passes.
And that was one of the keys to the game for Windham, was to get back, and they did not get back on that possession.
Hunter pulls up, splash. Malcolm Hunter, that's pretty. That's how you score 1,000 points.
Silky smooth.
Long 3 for Champagne. Got it! Matt Champagne going farther and farther.
Feeling it, Casey, from downtown.
Windham can have the last shot if they want it. Down 4. Swinging it around. 3 from the corner is good from Crespo. And that'll cut it to 1. And now Waterford, with under 10 seconds here, needs to get one off. 3 seconds. Champagne from near half court. Boom! End of the first quarter. Matt Champagne hits a bomb. Waterford with a 4-point lead at the end of 1. Buckle up. What a long shot and a big, big moment. Sports Doctor.
Talk about greatness in the house tonight. Mike Bissetto here, back home. Mike, first of all, quick reflection on your experience of playing basketball here at Waterford, winning a state title.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it. The special feeling I get coming in here every time I walk in the gym, it'll never change no matter what.
Now, this Waterford program in good hands with Bill Bassett.
Absolutely. He knows what he's doing. He's got 2 championships. I mean, how could anyone say anything different?
What does it take from the kids, from the commitment? They say, you know, every special group of kids come around every 4 years. I mean, will that come back here to Waterford?
I mean, you may see it right now. You don't know. I mean, they have young guys that can just take over this program, and we're going to see. I'm here for the Matt Champagne show right now, though. He's getting me a little fired up over here.
You're getting fired up. You want to toe one up there out yourself, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, the big thing, though, you don't want to take on me and Casey again, do you?
Stop it.
All right, Mike Michelle. Have fun, Mike.
Yeah, Sports Doctor. Now that he's doing all his work at Philomena's and not on the basketball court anymore, I'm feeling good about our chances. Your halftime score, by the way. Yep.
Tell you what, Casey, I'm a chucker, but, we'd have nothing for him right now.
Yeah, you didn't want to win that game. You wanted to show off. It was terrible. New London 34-15, a 20-point lead for the Whalers at halftime of that game. And we're going to talk a little bit about the status of the ECC as we get closer to halftime of this one. Right here, Waterford couldn't have finished it any better. 4-point lead. Sherwood into the game, another one of those football players for Waterford, Darian Sherwood. Spencer, he'll pull up for a 3. And that's in and out. And that one would have gone down. That would have been a big one for the Lancers. 3, no good. Rebound tipped out. Barnhill's in the game for Waterford as well. So a couple of changes for the Lancers here to start period number 2.
Casey, first half statistics, Waterford 8 of 12, 4 of 6 from three-point land, sizzling. Windham didn't shoot poorly, 8 of 14, but only 1 of 5. Champagne led all scorers with 12.
Hunter pushing off the turnover, but he turns it over. Now Barnhill, the big man, running the floor. Oh, big man! Don't hurt him! Go ahead, Nato! You know, those big men, they like to run the floor every chance they get.
Lancer Nation loves it.
Hunter, and he'll be fouled by Sherwood, and he'll go to the line. 6-point lead for Waterford, as right now they are nice combination of getting out in transition and finding those open threes. And quite frankly, there's no place on the floor that Matt Champagne's not open if he's going to shoot it like he has so far.
Yeah, and conversely, like I said in the pregame, this is not the easiest place to shoot in if you're not accustomed to playing in it. And Windham 1 of 5 from three-point land, and they're accustomed to making a lot of threes in a game. So that's really been the difference in this game, that Waterford has hit 4 three-pointers and Windham has only hit 1.
One more for Hunter. A little bit strong. Barnhill with the rebound. Spencer. Oh, nice crossover from Spencer, but I like Crespo right there with him. Excuse me, check that. Alvarado right there with him. Alvarado, the quarterback, he and Spencer know each other really well. And I'm going to get a foul as Hunter got banged into. So right there you got Alvarado, who's the quarterback and corner, defensive back. He was guarding Spencer in their game. Those two are no strangers.
Yeah, and I think Spencer's just got to make sure he remembers that, with the lead, you're the point guard. The most important statistic, victories.
Except we're going to get a legal screen here. Except I will say there's that, and Mikey Bassetto's a good example of it. There's the great players and the point guards know those moments when they're supposed to do a little bit themselves. That right now he's got to recognize Matt Champagne's open. He's got to try to find him
100%,
with the basketball.
100%. That's what I'm saying.
Great ball movement and an open 3 from Sherwood, and then Barnhill does a nice job keeping it alive. Champagne open for 3. Got it! Matt Champagne is en fuego.
15 to lead all scorers.
Open 3 from that spot has been very good for the Whippets, and Andon Gonzalez answers.
They needed that one in the worst way.
Nice ball movement here. They're using Barnhill. He's got a nice quick catch. Champagne again. You can't guard him. Matt Champagne doing it himself at a timeout from Paul Martineau. Matt Champagne's got threes all over the place, reminiscent of days of yore here at Waterford. An 8-point Lancer lead. Lancer Nation loves it. We'll be right back. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Here at Game Day, we're proud to bring you unrivaled video coverage of local high school sports, all of it free for you to watch. These videos are not free for us to produce them. If you'd like to ensure that we can keep covering your school and your teams, there's a few ways that you can support us. Hit up our merch store and pick up some Game Day gear in your school colors. Our camera operators are always looking for those shirts and hoodies in the crowd, and you may see yourself on our next live stream. We get a lot of support from businesses in our community, and if you'd like to join them as a sponsor, send us a message and we can connect you with our advertising staff. Finally, The Day is the organization behind everything we do here at Game Day. If you want to support The Day's community journalism, consider a print or digital subscription at theday.com/subscribe.
B+. Lancer Nation challenged you to get out. You said you were going to black out the X. You get a B+. It's not an A. It's not the days of yore. But that right there is a healthy student section. And you have to root this kid on right here because he is keeping you in this ball game. Sports Doctor, you were listening to Coach Martineau. What's he saying?
He smiled, looked at his kids, said, don't lose track of number 2 on the floor. Plain and simple right now. So find out where the shooters are and go guard them. Casey, when you're hot, you're hot. And right now, number 2 is cooking.
Sherwood gets the turnover. Just what they needed. And now they're going to put Crespo out on Champagne.
Yeah, Windham back to man-to-man. The last couple possessions, they were actually in an extended 3-2, and that left a lot of openings down below the foul line extended, and they didn't get out on that closeout to Champagne, which was surprising to me because he already had 12 points, and then he buries 2 more threes.
Sheehan back in the game. Good minutes right there from Barnhill. When he comes in, he's got to be a physical presence, and he was. And that's a top play in my mind, him going down with the left hand and running the floor. That's like Shaq, the old days of Shaq.
Coast to coast.
Windham down 8, but they can score quickly and in bunches. That one's a little wild, but nice. I thought we were going to have a foul. Yeah, we are going to have a foul against Windham. Fouls against Pomo, his first. 4:51 remaining here in the first half. Couldn't be going any better for Waterford than it is right now. I mean, this is everything they had hoped for here at home.
Yeah, and taking care of the ball, only 2 turnovers. And surprisingly, this Windham defense hasn't bothered them.
Spencer gets to the basket. Nice defense from behind by Alvarado. Creates the steal. Stepping just inside, Gonzalez, no good. He was inside the 3-point line by about a step.
They're shooting into the backdrop of that Waterford student section, the Lancer Nation. Those shots are not falling right now for the Whippets.
Swinging it around, Gallerani for 3, good! Carson! Adding to the mix.
7 of 11 from 3-point land are the Lancers.
Oh, that's a very, very savvy move right there from Hunter. A much-needed basket for the Whippets.
Trying to stay in arm's length at this point. They don't want this one to get away.
Sherwood with a 3. No good. Tipped around. He gets his own rebound. Spencer, no good. So a couple of 3-pointers in and out for Waterford, and instead a foul as Andon Gonzalez got hit as he tried to move it up the floor for the Whippets.
They're still sizzling, 7 of 13 from 3-point lands.
Dion Ramos into the game for Windham as they're trying to find a unit right now that can do it on both ends of the floor. Hunter, no foul, good defense, weak side coming up behind him. Now Spencer all the way to the basket, and he'll draw the foul on the other end. So tough sequence there for Windham as Hunter thought he got hit, and instead it's going to be Spencer shooting 2.
I love when he goes to the rack like that. He reminds me a lot of J.J. Robinson from New London in that he's so explosive, he puts the onus on the referee. It's hard to recognize, is it a block or a charge?
That's a good point, Juice. A little bit of direct action sometimes can pay off for you, right? You just it's not head down blind, it's more overly direct, right? So it puts a little bit of burden on the officials. Give them a little hard, as soon as you make a contact, you just kind of go through them. That's the football player too. That physical nature. Not all guys can do that. Beautiful inbounds as the master of the inbounds play. Bill Bassett draws up another one, and Lombardi finishes an 11-point lead for the Lancers. Nice floater by Crespo over the top of Sheehan. And we haven't seen Windham press yet or give any pressure. Right now, they're going to try to do this thing a little chip away at a time. And there's a turnover as Lombardi miscommunicated with Champagne, and Windham will have the ball, a chance to cut in to a 9-point Waterford lead.
Fourth turnover for the Lancers.
Try to get you an updated New London Fitch score. And that is the other premier game. Big game in the state tonight. Manchester-Windsor, Part 2. After that epic comeback Manchester had the first time those two teams played.
Waterford's defense has been very good with closeouts, not allowing dribble penetration. Killed them earlier in the game.
Lombardi comes away all the way to the basket. A little bit too hard, but Sheehan's there for the putback. So Lombardi, almost too fast for his own good. His body couldn't react, but Sheehan in perfect position, and the lead's 11.
Offensive rebounding has really helped the Lancers establish this lead.
Andon Gonzalez, the sophomore leader, the vocal leader, gets to the basket, gets fouled, so he'll shoot a pair.
And that hasn't happened enough for the Whippets. They're settling for these mid-range jump shots, and Waterford will live with that. That's good defense. You're forcing them to dribble, but you're not allowing them to get to the rim. Windham has to find a way to either continue to get to the rim like they just did, or collapse the D, kick it out for wide open, squared up threes.
One of two for Gonzalez. Sheehan hustles to the rebound for Waterford. The lead is 10. Spencer. I almost lost Champagne. Spencer, step back three, is going to be short. Offensive rebound, Lombardi, just a hustle play. Waterford just out hustling them as well.
Yeah, just another offensive rebound. That just breaks the spirit of a team, Casey. You're out there, well, especially from the coach's perspective, you're trying to keep things positive, get to the next play, let's do this, let's draw up that, but that's just effort. Offensive rebounding is and defensive rebounding is just effort. And right now, as you said, the Lancers just out hustling the Whippets.
The three balls, the streaky threes from Champagne certainly got the lead out there, but the lead stayed there because of hustle plays like that. So as Champagne's been quiet, we've saw Sheehan with the offensive rebound, Lombardi with the offensive rebound, guys getting into the passing lane, and like you said, Windham sort of settling for these pull-up jump shots, which is not an efficient offense. There's a steal. Sheehan finishes at the rim. Colby Sheehan. Right now, Waterford is outworking Windham. .55 seconds remaining here in the half. As good a half as Waterford could have hoped for. And right now, I would love to be a fly in the locker room for Paul Martineau and Windham at halftime, because he smiled the first time at the timeout. I don't know if he's going to be smiling in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, and this is not surprising to me. We've seen it so many times.
Spencer can't get that one to go. Wild shot. Almost got the left hand. Baseline, drive, hang, finish by Jenkins. And now Waterford can take the last shot of the half, up 12. Three, Spencer, pull up three is gonna be short. And we're at halftime, a 40-28 lead for the Waterford Lancers. The sports doctor will have Waterford coach Bill Bassett. He's gotta be thrilled with that half of basketball.
Coach, you gotta be happy and thrilled with the effort of your team in the first half.
You know what? It's a big team effort right now. It's what we're seeing. We're seeing, Parker Spencer. He's distributing the ball. He's running the offense. But what it is we're starting the defensive end. They started with 3 quick makes in a row with no issue, right? And I said, guys, it starts here on the defensive end. That's where we're going to win this.
Offensively, knocking down the threes, 7 out of 11 at 1 point.
You know what? And when they're open, my guys are knocking them down. We're running the right plays, and that helps. And we're making some very good offensive moves on the offensive glass, and we're getting second chance opportunities.
All right, what you talked about to close this thing out, Coach?
You know what? They have to continue. We got to be a 2-half team, right? The first half is great, but if it doesn't come together in the second half, it doesn't matter.
All right, talk to Coach.
Thank you.
Case.
Well, it's been plays like this, the steal by Colby Sheehan all the way to the basket that's got the Lancers on top 12. Now you want to stick around for the grade 8, the features on Malcolm Hunter and Parker Spencer. And when we come back at halftime, we're going to talk about the state of the ECC and a new #1 team in the state of Connecticut. We're going to talk about all those things at halftime. Right now, it's a 12-point Lancer lead. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Parker has a way of just getting under some skin of other players. And we've had players in the past, but I think what makes Parker a little different is I've never had a person of his talent be that person who just gets under people's skin.
I don't really, I guess you could say I enjoy it, but it's just something it's like part of my game. Not really looking to do it. It happens, but I'm just competitive. So like something's not going my way, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you what's like through my mind.
Corner out for Spencer.
Parker is such a dynamic player. Watching him this year, it was so much fun to watch him play because he plays football very similarly to the way he plays basketball. There's times I swear he's doing a crossover with the football and making players miss. And so for that part of it, when I try to maybe take myself out of it, maybe when I see highlights and I know the game's over and he's safe, I love to watch him, how he plays, because he plays the two sports very similarly.
I love both sports. I don't even know which one's my favorite yet. I just play them because I love them. We lost a lot of guys last year, so we lost all 4 of our starters besides me. So everyone else has upcoming new roles that they got to take. So it's really just like the team chemistry we need to build on.
We've had to grow at times, yes, a lot. And this year, one of the most fun things I did this year was he and I sat down together. We watch film as a team all the time. But this year is really the first year I've actually sat down with another player. For instance, Parker was not boxing out. Like he would just not box out. And it was he and I sitting down watching and doing that, and him seeing on tape, like, wow, my player went around me again. And just having those conversations, joking around, kind of just, interacting one-on-one, player and coach. The next couple of games, he was either leading us in rebounds or like on the top 2 guys in rebounds. He was dominating the glass. So it was a place to teach him something about the game of basketball, but also kind of build that relationship one-on-one. And that's been something with Parker that I now understand him more. And getting to know him over the past couple of years, my assistant coaches love him, and I really understand him more and more, which helps me love him more too.
Growing up, I had a mini hoop, and I would just shoot around in my living room, and it's pretty much where it started. I played biddy basketball as well.
Windham senior Malcolm Hunter got an unexpected opportunity at the start of his freshman season.
When I first made the team, I was supposed to be JV, who was gonna sit varsity bench. COVID hit our team, and I had to start my first game, which isn't normal. And I had no idea I was gonna do that until the day before.
We had like 8 guys on our roster for the first 3 games, and he stepped in and knocked down threes for us, and it was very hard to get him out of the lineup after that.
I had no idea I would be able to, 20-something games later, be in a state championship game with a big girl.
Hunter scored 20 points as the Whippets won the Division V state title, but he struggled with the pressure of expectations in his sophomore season.
It was just in my head, that whole freshman summer going into my sophomore year, the expectation of, being better than what was already great. My expectations were too high, and I had to come back to reality, and that slowly hit me junior year.
I know his sophomore year he had a little bit of a shooting slump, but he just takes everything in stride, and he, when his motor is running high, he's, pretty effective, obviously. I mean, the only thing that can stop Malcolm is himself.
Still junior year, I really didn't know what my role was, but this year, my whole summer I spent just working, ready to embrace that role I got.
Hunter saw that work pay off recently when he stepped to the free throw line 2 points shy of 1,000 in his career.
I knew I was going to hit it soon this season. I didn't know when. I was 37 away, and I just kept telling myself I'm going to get it at home. I wanted to do it in front of my family, in front of the home crowd, and I took myself back to, I was a little kid, and Coach Jack used to tell me, no one's watching you. He was my coach, growing up. So he was my middle school coach, elementary coach, and we always practice free throws. And you just say, block out the noise. It's just you in the gym. I sunk that free throw, to know that, I put my mind to it and I really did it. It felt good. When I saw how everyone reacted, my teammates, my family, I really got a feel for how big it was. And when I learned that I was 1 out of 5 that hit it, it felt like it was huge.
We're back at halftime, a 12-point lead for the Waterford Lancers. Great first half, which brings us to the sort of state of the ECC. Big game over in Groton right now. New London with a 16-point lead. They were up 20 at halftime. And I had asked you before the game, are there islands in the ECC? And if so, what are those islands?
Islands in the stream.
That's right.
Well, the big islands, or maybe the little islands, with the 2 biggest teams is New London and St. Bernard. And right now, until we are convinced otherwise, it looks like they are on a collision course for the D1 championship in the ECC tournament. The next island is rather large. I think there's a lot of teams that can fit on that island, and I know that Fitch would like to be on that small island with St. Bernard and New London, but I think they're on the island with NFA, with Windham, with Killingly, and, possibly if this Waterford team plays like this, with Waterford.
Well, and then you're going to have a team like East Lyme who said, hey, we beat the what out of these guys, and we're capable on a given night. So I agree with you, but I think in all, I'd like to say that New London and St. Bernard's are on the island, but what I really think it is I think St. Bernard's is sitting on an island, and New London is floating, just trying to find a way to breach that island, because they haven't been able to do it yet. There's no question about the talent. I can't wait for those 2 teams to play 2 more times.
Yeah.
But right now, it's St. Bernard's is on the beach, with the sunglasses on, and New London's trying a water assault, like the Navy SEALs, trying to find a way to breach the island. And I think Fitch is all alone on their own island. I think they're so clearly better than everybody else, and no offense to NFA, who might be right there, but I feel like they're better than everybody else, but they can't go up against those top 2 teams. What that brings me to is, someone's going to, down the stretch, play their way onto that island. And I don't know who it's going to be. This Waterford team has impressed me so much in the first half. Now, we'll see what happens in the second half with Windham, turning it up a notch. But it is right now St. Bernard's, and we should give them the credit they deserve. First time since 2012, Chris Dunn led New London. The last time an ECC team has been the #1 team in the state. The Saints are that right now, and that is worthy of note.
Yeah, it's such an impressive feat, especially when you look at where they were when Mark Jones took over the program. I mean, they have this rich history. with Coach Paiuka and all the great stars that played there, including Harold Presley. But in recent times, they were the bottom feeder of the ECC, and when Coach Jones took them over, their big game was to beat Plainfield. Like, that was their big game of the regular season. Like, they wanted to knock off Bobby Aramoni's Plainfield team, and when they won those games, they were so hyped. Now, I mean, that's so far in the rearview mirror that they're going up against the teams like Notre Dame Prep, Notre Dame Fairfield, East Catholic. They're in the same conversation with those teams. Just incredible.
That's because they make sound decisions like you'd make if you went to Kuchar Financial. The second half possession is brought to you by Kuchar Financial, located in New London. Lee Kuchar is going to help you keep possession of your money. Sound financial planning and investment, tax planning, preparation for either individuals or small businesses. Listen, everyone wants to feel better about their finances. Everyone wants to be number one. Lee Kuchar can help you with Kuchar Financial. Back here, opening possession of the second half, and Waterford gets dinged with a Game Lombardi foul, and Windham will have its first possession of the second half. And, you know, it is an impressive feat. We talked to Mikey Bassetto. His father, Mike, was on those St. Bernard teams with Will Flowers that competed at the highest levels of the state. Lombardi comes back the other way with the steal, and he'll go and he'll shoot too, as he was fouled heading to the basket by Crespo. So foul on one, then he comes back and picks one off on the other end.
Yeah, makes up for it, because the one knock on this Waterford team is that they're not able to hold leads. So this 12-point lead, they've had these kinds of leads as recently as Monday night down in Morgan, and they weren't able to hold it. They have to be able to execute for 16 more minutes.
Well, they are not used to being the hunted. They have been trailed. They've trailed in a lot of games. They've been less than competitive. They haven't had leads like this. But right now they are, you know, they're the hunters, if you will, but they have to play with that same level of aggression, because as soon as they sit back and try to massage a lead, they'll lose it.
Yeah, they just got to continue to keep executing and giving that effort. You know, those offensive rebounds, good decisions on offense, and really what's been the most impressive has been the sound defense, not allowing the Whippets to use their speed to get to the basket.
Hunter hangs and knocks it down from the free throw line. He is such, I mean, he's George Gervin. He's just the ice.
The Whippets turn up the pressure here.
Spencer finds Sheehan. And baskets like that are always welcome.
And that's why Spencer can be so good. He doesn't have to put the hot sauce on the ball all the time. Just break the press, make the simple play. There's another one.
Steele has numbers. Oh, fancy! Parker playing games. Whippets call a timeout. It's a full as the Lancers open the half and jump out to a 16-point lead.
Yeah, as I was saying in the first half, he has the same skill set as some of the better guards that we talk about a lot in this league, an all-state guard and J.J. Robinson at New London. He has that same kind of skill set, but it's transforming his mentality to make sure that he makes the best decision for his team, because the most important statistic for a point guard is victories.
16-point lead for Waterford, and I'm very curious. I said, Coach Martineau, what was he going to say at halftime? There's going to come a point here where I think, you know, he's just going to have to either, you know, sink or cut bait, however it was. Sports Doctor, you were listening in on the huddle. What's Coach Martineau saying?
Oh, you got to take care of the basketball. And I do quote the coach. These lollipop passes don't work on a varsity level. You know, we talk about this day in and day after practice. Can't turn the basketball over, Casey, and leads to easy buckets on the other end. We're not hustling back. Coach, very frustrated right now.
You know, you're more than halfway through the season. You know, you're on the other side. So the feeling out, the injuries, the preseason raw, all that stuff's gone now. Now you're looking to make your run, and they just came off of a loss having made a run. So, we talked in the open about this is a must win for Waterford, but, Windham doesn't get back together again. Now it's 2 losses in a row. And they turn it over there. And normally you say games like this happen. If they rolled into this on that 7 or 8 game win streak that they had been on and this happens, you say, games like this happen. We throw clunkers once in a while. But that bad loss that they had against Coventry, you can't come back and play listless like they are right now.
Right. You can lose this game, but it can't be in a way where you get blown out of the gym.
Hunter with the steal and the finish cuts it to 14. Now some pressure from the Whippets.
Yeah, he'll do everything he can to not let him get blown out.
Champagne finds Sheehan, who's fouled hard and will shoot 2.
And Coach Bassett's always been really good at coaching press breaks and breaking pressure. So that's, especially with a guy like Parker Spencer, who could be a one-man press break at times, I think it's going to be hard for Windham to get back into it by pressing them. And in the age of the shot clock, you don't have to. So I would much rather see the Whippets strap up in the half court than extend this pressure and let Waterford get easy chances at the basket.
I think what's an underrated part of that play was Gabe Lombardi's left-handed, bounce pass that was a quarter court. That's a tough skill. That long pass with the left, that's how he got an angle to help break the press.
And that's Coach Bassett. He's really good at coaching full court offense. That's always been one of his principles of his teams. They always play well, getting the ball up court. Pressure has rarely affected them.
Open 3 is good from Gonzalez, much needed. At the end of 3, New London has opened it up. It's 52 to 30 rather, a 22-point lead. Steele, floater, back iron, no good. And a foul on Aponte, reaching in on Sheehan. That would have been a big basket there. If Gonzalez could have made the steal and bucket, that would have cut it to 10. Instead, the foul, and it's back to Waterford.
Yeah, and as long as Waterford continues to play within themselves and team basketball, they still have firm control of this game.
Champagne, first 3 of the second half, no good. Much better defense that time as Aponte got out on him. Oh, look at the pass. Hunter with a bullet to Gonzalez. The lead is 10. And I was going to ask, if Windham can find a way to get it first to 10, then into single digits, does Waterford start feeling, right? They've blown some of these leads. Do they feel the Whippets charging at that point?
I'm sure. I don't know for sure, so I guess I shouldn't say I'm sure, but based on the history of how this season's been going, you just came off of a game where that exactly happened. They went through a stretch in the fourth quarter against Morgan on Monday night where they didn't score a basket in 6 minutes. So there's so much time left in this game, just an eternity with 5 minutes left in the third. 10 points is not a big lead in the shot clock era.
So the lead got as high as 16. 6-point run now for Windham, gets it to 10. You and I, we talk all the time, and you talk about manageable bites, right? 16 to 10 is a manageable bite. We're still early in the third period, so there's no next step. I mean, Windham could say, we can get this thing tied at the end of the third. So if you're Waterford, it's, I guess the question is, how do you not look over your shoulder? What's the message to your kids? Windham is in the full court pressure here. What's your message? How do we not look over our shoulder?
Just one play at a time. There's not much you could do at this point from the coaching perspective except be positive with your guys. Preparation has brought you to this point, and now it's up to the players to execute.
Spencer. I think he had Champagne. Instead, Sheehan pulls up, no good. Look at the hustle from Parker Spencer. But he steps on the line, and that's an unfortunate turnover for Waterford. Windham can get it back to single digits for what's felt like a long time.
Yeah, and this Waterford just missed their last couple of shots. 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and then a turnover, and then 2 misses. And that's, in basketball, you got to keep scoring. You can't force the other team to punt all the time.
Turnover the other way, now back with Waterford.
Windham has 3 turnovers this quarter, so they're not helping themselves in this comeback by turning it over. They actually haven't missed a shot, but they've turned it over 3 times.
Staying with the pressure. Spencer. A little stutter step into the lane. Sheehan wisely pulls it out. Up top now. Lombardi for 3. Gabe Lombardi straight away bangs it. Lead back to 13.
And that's 13 points also for Lombardi. That's a product of getting the ball inside, kicking it out to a squared up shooter.
Put back by Pomo off his own miss. The big body. I'd like to see him get a little more involved. And right on cue, Donato Barnhill's going to check in. And we're going to go, you want a big body? I'll give you a big body. Steal. Hunter, and a good foul. Whether he meant to or not, Gallerani with a good foul right there, because that would have been a layup for Windham to get it to single digits.
Absolutely, but what happened there is they switched Spencer and Gallerani. I'd like to see Spencer on the back end and let him be the quarterback, so to speak, of this press break.
And by fouling there, instead of giving up the deuce, right now you get them in the half court, you get a chance to reset the defense. There's an open look. Hunter for 3, no good. Spencer up high for the rebound, something he's getting better at. Other direction, knocks it down.
Yeah, I like the ball in his hands. Little delay of game warning.
Yeah, Barnhill, that's the old tip it back to the guy. You just leave the ball alone. Used to be that wasn't a big deal. Now it's like just, don't touch it.
Windham still struggling to get the touch from three-point land. 3 of 10 from behind the arc.
Pomo gets it back, drives on Barnhill, and he'll draw the foul. Alexander Pomo and Donato Barnhill. That is a collision worthy of airbags.
Yeah, and it looked like Pomo initiated the contact. I don't know what, I don't know what they were supposed to do on defense, but referee said that he got his hands, according to Mike DeMoro. That's why they called the foul.
Pomo knocks them both down. Important because every free throw, especially for Windham, every free throw, so crucial. They double Spencer. Oh! He missed the layup, but the pass was delightful. Hunter, put the brakes on, let him fly by, and knock it down. Top gun move there from Malcolm Hunter.
16 for Malcolm. Coach got a timeout. Bassett got a timeout.
Timeout Waterford as the lead is down to 8, and I think more importantly, the composure of Waterford was starting to get a little bit away from them. They were starting to go a little faster than you'd want.
Yeah, I mean, even though they missed the layup on the previous possession, the ball was in Parker's hands. Parker Spencer needs to have the ball in his hands. That last possession that forced Coach Bassett to call the timeout, Spencer's buried in the deep corner, and you have other guys facing this Whippet defense that's getting more aggressive, more tenacious. The point guard's got to go get the ball. Go get the ball and control things. They're trying to trap Spencer. We just saw on 2 possessions ago, it's hard to trap him. He spun away, he drove to the basket, put the behind the back pass on at the right moment actually, and they just coughed up the layup. But I want the ball in number 4's hands. I don't want to leave it up to other guys to face this whip-it defense when they're pressuring on the ball like that.
You know, when we talked about the state of the ECC and we talked about who that fourth team is that wants to be in the mix, we referenced a bunch of different teams. What we should say is it's all been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Which team shows up, right? You could have convinced me NFA. You could convince me Waterford. You could convince me East Lyme. You could convince me Windham. You could convince me Killingly. All of them. And you watch the Killingly game when they lost, and it's like, this team doesn't look like they can play basketball. Windham tonight, at times, has been like, this is the team that wants to be in the Division I tournament. East Lyme's looked that way. NFA has looked that way. So right now, someone's going to have to step up and become that team. And Waterford, you know, now the shots aren't going down quite like they were in the first half. Baseline, no good. Pomo tips it. Crespo rather, to Hunter. Hunter draws the contact on Barnhill. And what Barnhill needs to understand, when you're that big, you can't make any contact with a smaller guy because he's going to bounce off of you, and it looks like a foul.
Yeah, that was a heady play, though, by Hunter. He hunted that foul. He drove, and he created the contact and shot it up at the last second. Forced the official to make a decision.
This is where the free throws become so important because it's 8 right now. And 8 can become 4, and 8 can become 12. And it's like which direction it goes in changes the complexion of a fourth quarter. So these important free throws here for Hunter. Missed them both. And a big high rebound from Champagne. Hunter, as good a shooter as he is, uncharacteristically misses both free throws. They trap Spencer, and being very physical, but he finds Lombardi. Champagne ends up with it in the corner. Dumps it down to Barnhill. Pomo got a piece of that one.
Waterford right now not getting the guys shots that they need to get the shots. Champagne stuck on 18 points since early in that second quarter.
Foul on Spencer as he tried for the steal. Got there a half a step late. If you're a cornerback, that's a touchdown. Little foul instead as your point guard.
Yeah, and Waterford's got to be careful now. 1:18 left in the third. They have 4 team fouls. So the next one, or now they're looking at the book, it might be the 5th.
And that's the 5th, so they are in fact going to send Crespo to the line to shoot 2.
So that's not a good foul, obviously, when you foul 40 feet away from the basket and give the other team 2 free throws.
So while they sort this out, they sorted it out is in fact 5. So Yadiel Crespo will shoot 2. Cuts the lead now to 7. The lead was 16 at the beginning of this period. Barnhill, strong rebound. Sherwood for 3, no good. Pomo, good rebound.
I know everybody wants to shoot it, but that's kind of like a turnover when you take shots like that with no offensive rebounding position, without running offense.
Nice look, but Pomo loses it. Champagne, foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Matt Champagne got to the basket with 43 seconds remaining, has a chance to extend the 7-point lead.
And Waterford missed their last 4 shots, so this is a chance for them to take a deep breath and make some easy ones from the charity stripe.
First one is good. Gallerani back into the game for Waterford, replacing Sherwood, and I think that's the message right there to Sherwood is we're going to talk about this. Those are not the shots we want in that situation. First half, a little different when everyone was on fire. Here, we got to take better shots.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to be a coach in this day and age because there's a reason you're open, young man. And shot selection is part of basketball.
Hunter kicks it out. Long three from Gonzalez, no good. Spencer running the floor for Waterford. Behind the back, Champagne for three, back iron, no good. Nice hustle from Lombardi. Lombardi spins. Oh! Gabe Lombardi with an unbelievable circus shot and the foul. He'll go to the line. Lancer Nation, give him some love because that was spectacular.
And they got back to what they were doing so well in the first half, Casey, getting those offensive rebound and second chance opportunities. They hadn't had one of those in a while. They got it at a right time here at the end of the third to try and get their lead comfortably into double digits.
Remember what I said, 8 can become 12 really quickly. A little run by Waterford's got it to 12. Hunter. Oh, how he got that one to go, I don't know. Waterford can get the last shot. Steal. Good if it goes from Hunter. No good. We're at the end of 3, and it's a 9-point lead. What a run and then a nice comeback and response. The sports doctor.
All right, so Casey, I've caught up with Anaya Jenkins. Windham girls in the middle of a special year, 12-1 this year. How hungry are you to get back to the state championship and win it this year?
We're super hungry and we want to get back there as soon as possible.
Now, what makes it so special this season?
It's my senior year. It's my last year with Jay Lees. So I'm super excited. I want to end it with a ring.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Now, you scored 1,000 points this year. It's a big deal. Talk about the moment and talk about the shot and what happened afterwards.
So I hit a 3 and I hugged my dad right after, so it was super special. It was super special to share that moment with him.
Was it a no-brainer as soon as you left your hands, like everyone's going down?
What was that? Sorry.
Was it a no-brainer as soon as you left your hands, you knew it was going down?
Yeah, I knew.
I mean, so moments like this don't come along very often, so enjoy the ride and good luck to you guys and make it special.
I will. We will. You'll see us at Mohegan Sun twice this year.
There you go. Mohegan Sun twice this year. Casey?
One of my favorite moments. You know, athletes all the time, we see the hi mom. Hi mom, hi mom. She knocked the 3 down and she hugged her dad. So from dads all over the place, I said great job. I love it. We're going to see them twice at Mohegan Sun. Yeah, I'd say that the girls' division is every bit as wide open as the boys' division is. The difference is I don't know that there's the great team in the girls' side like there is on the boys' side, but there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, girls' tournament's going to be wide open. Whippets with the ball here, trying to capitalize on that solid end to the third quarter.
Hunter, again, I go George Gervin-esque with the 4 steps to the basket, cutting it to 7 again.
Yeah, a lot of time left. You still want to be solid with the ball here if you're the Lancers, not force up quick shots. Get the right guys to take those open shots.
Lombardi drives. Can't get it to go. Gonzalez pushes ahead. Crespo. No good. Gonzalez no good. Sheehan with the rebound. Missed opportunity there for Windham. Up ahead it goes. Champagne. No good. Rebound Pomo. Missed opportunity Lancers. Jenkins, wild shot. Champagne the rebound. Waterford pushing. Champagne. Offensive foul, or are we going to get the block?
Push.
We're going to get a push before either. So the foul's going to be on Darian Jenkins with the push. First foul. But they're going to say in the act of shooting, they're going to call that a shooting foul? No, that's got to be underneath the basket. Okay. Underneath, Spencer will inbound for Waterford. Let's see what Coach Bassett draws up. Again, they're so good usually out of the inbounds. They get it to Sheehan. Well defended by Pomo, though. Pomo's a big body down there, and he's done a nice job. Hunter gave it. Gonzalez drives, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And getting to the basket, that's something that the Waterford defense has done relatively well all game long, not allow the Whippets to get going north-south. That time Gonzalez gets to the basket, puts the onus on the referee to make a call, and he gets 2 free throws.
Third foul on Lombardi, but another missed free throw by Gonzalez. He's got to knock these down. That's how you get back into the ballgame.
Yeah, this is starting to become an issue now for the Whippets, as they're shooting about 50% from the free throw line this game.
Second one is good, and the lead is 6. Champagne turns it over, and then it's turned back over to Waterford. Spencer wisely says, let's get this thing together. Parker Spencer can use that left hand like nobody's business.
Yeah, I love when he gets going north and south.
Jenkins off of Sheehan, off of Pomo, back to Hunter for the layup.
Yeah, somebody's got to find Hunter. You can't let 1,000-point scorer just drive to the basket.
Open 3, no good. And a foul. I thought it went up off the bar as Gallerani shot the 3. And the foul instead is going to be on Jenkins, and so Waterford will have it underneath. 6-point lead. Champagne, best look of the second half, no good. Those went down in the first half. And a foul on Waterford. That's on Lombardi. That's his 4th.
It's a tough call, but I absolutely hate when they call a travel on a guy who gets a rebound and the momentum from the other team forces him on the ground, and then the referee calls a travel on that kid. The kid doesn't fall down unless something's forcing him to fall down. So I think that is a brilliant call there by Mr. Keith.
So, first of all, everything you just said there, I couldn't agree with you more. It's one of my most frustrating ones as well. You get bumped to the ground, and then you get the travel call. Now, I personally don't love that travel call anyway. I know it's the rule. I wish they'd change it. I don't love that when you're on the ground like that, not moving, it's a travel. But absolutely, it's a tough foul on Lombardi, but it's the right foul on Lombardi. Oh, nice hands from Sherwood.
Spencer's got to get it. There he is.
Champagne knew exactly what to do. And a reach from behind by Crespo.
That's the only way they're going to take it from him. If he's sound with the ball and he uses his pivot foot correctly, the only way they're going to take it from him is if they foul him or if he just gives it to him because he's careless.
Whalers 67-36, a 30-point win by New London over Fitch, which matches what we saw the first time those two teams played. A definitive statement by New London as to where they want to be in the ECC. Waterford in the weave.
Yep.
Spencer, I'd like to stay away from that. Nice hands. Hunter stripped it. Ball on the floor. And I think that's going to be Windham basketball, and it is.
I don't love the weave there for the reasoning that you only got your best ball handler handling it 1 out of every 3 touches in that weave. And I think Windham took advantage of that.
Gonzalez, kick, Crespo for 3, no. Nice rebound. Spencer tried to hit the home run. You don't need the home run there, but Sherwood bails him out. Champagne finds Sheehan, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 as he got bumped. I can see how Waterford blows leads. Because when you speed them up, they make 3 mistakes for every 1 good play that they make. That's something that coach, now there's some brilliant stuff in there, but they make too many mistakes. I can understand why they can be helter-skelter. Coach Bassett can't be any more frustrated, watching it. Now Sheehan knocks down a free throw, which is huge, and the lead's back to 7.
Bonus.
One more for Sheehan. No good. Hunter gets fouled by Sherwood. 3rd foul on Waterford. So both of these teams, Waterford will be shooting the next time they get fouled. Windham's right on the cusp.
Yeah, Waterford shoots 2 free throws on every foul the rest of the way, except for an offensive foul.
Oh, great hands. Champagne got it from Hunter. And Spencer does a wonderful job coming back and taking the basketball. Sherwood for 3. Again, I don't think that's the shot they're looking for there. Hunter gets fouled by Spencer, and he'll shoot 2. So Malcolm Hunter got hit on the arm as he went up. Fouls on Parker Spencer.
Turnovers have been abundant in this 4th quarter, Casey. Waterford has 5 turnovers. The Whippets have 3.
And both teams will shoot the bonus the rest of the way now. First one from Hunter is good. Lead back to 6. I have a feeling this is going to be a 1-possession game as we head down the stretch. Just a feeling that I have.
Mr. Hunter has been as advertised, Casey. 24 points going into this free throw.
And if there's such a thing as a quiet, right? He's not a 3. It's not like he's the 3-point guy who just knocks them all down. He gets to the basket. He's quiet with it. But, oh yeah, he can score. Sheehan, nicely done. Gallerani, no good. And a foul. He'll go shoot 2. Sheehan was there for the offensive rebound. I think Waterford would probably prefer the basket, but instead, Carson Gallerani will go to the line and he'll shoot 2. 11 games in, 13 games in for Waterford. You're not a freshman anymore, but these are still big shots right into Lancer Nation. One more. That one didn't go down, so an empty set there for the Lancers. Get the ball to Hunter. Gonzalez pulls up, no good. Spencer. He gets the middle of the floor and tipped out of bounds.
He's just got to go up there. Just shoot it up there, Parker. He's so good in the open floor. I love watching him play. That's the time to be a little bit more selfish. He was very unselfish on that decision.
Timeout by Bill Bassett and Waterford. It's a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it here. 5-point lead for Waterford with 3:17 remaining. And this is exactly what we asked. Can Waterford finish? Can Windham chase them down after, Windham played lackluster for a long period of time, and Waterford was out hustling them. Now, as Windham's turned it up a little bit, getting Waterford to make more mistakes.
And what allowed Waterford to build their lead was 2 things. Nobody was guarding Champagne early in the game, and he went ballistic. But also, and maybe more importantly, Waterford was getting a lot of second chance opportunities and easy putbacks. Windham shored up that part of the defense. They've kept Champagne from getting as many open looks from 3. So they've really changed their defense and made that adjustment. Now they're going to have to be able to score. And it's going to come down to the executing here in this last 3 minutes.
Spencer inbounds. Champagne, big three, back iron, no good. Sheehan tips it, but Pomo gets the rebound. Champagne has been as cold here in the second half as he was hot in the first half.
Pick and roll action with Hunter here.
Hunter hangs, can't get it to go. That's a nice rebound from Sheehan. Now Champagne. This time he'll forego the three to get it back to Spencer.
Good decision.
They double Spencer. He's so tough to double. Champagne with a floater. Hey, when it's not going from three, let's get it in a little closer.
22 for Matthew.
Deuce is wild. Lead back to 7. Hunter. He'll get to the line, he'll shoot too. So Malcolm Hunter, I feel like he can get to the basket or the line pretty much whenever he wants.
Yeah, he's been as advertised. He's really good. Fun to watch. Plays under control with poise. Hasn't been frustrated. And sitting here at the line with 25 points.
Big free throws here as the lead is 7. Knocks the first one down. Lombardi back into the game with the 4 fouls for the stretch run, as long as he can stay in the game. And Hunter will get one more. Both go down for Hunter. He's the leading scorer in the game. 27 for Hunter. And Spencer with an ill-advised pass over the head of Gallerani. And with a lead at 5, Windham can get this to a 1-possession game.
6th turnover of the quarter for the Lancers.
Pomo swinging it around, now Gonzalez. Gonzalez drives, no good. Lombardi pushes in the other direction. Spencer spots up, wide open 3, no good. And Gonzalez was on the baseline.
Hard to be a coach. You got a guy in Malcolm Hunter, 27 points, and doesn't get a shot up.
Yeah, just too quick. Champagne for 3, no good, in and out. But he gets it back from Pomo, finds Sheehan. Big basket for the Lancers. Champagne followed up his own shot.
That offensive rebound, it's been a killer for the Whippets D this game.
All the way to the basket. Jenkins can't get it to go, and we're going to get a foul on Pomo, and that's going to put Lombardi at the line on the other end for the Lancers.
So 2 possessions ago, Hunter's at the line, and Casey, you said, I feel like he can either get to the bucket and score or draw a foul every possession. Well, the next 2 possessions, Hunter doesn't get a chance to do either of those.
5 fouls on Pomo, so he is out of the game. Lombardi will shoot 2. Big free throws here with a 7-point lead for Gabe Lombardi. First one is good. Every inch of the rim. Took a little trip around the world.
Waterford in good shape here. Far from over. The one thing you do not want to do is foul jump shooters. If you foul somebody going to the rack, if they get going downhill to the rack and they're going to get a layup, then you foul them, you put them on the line. Do not foul jump shooters.
8-point lead. Hunter kicks out. Gonzalez for an open 3, no good, and it gets the friendly roll. Beautiful roll for Andon Gonzalez. The lead is 5. Champagne to the basket, and he can't get it to go, but Sheehan with an offensive rebound, and there's the lack of Pomo in the middle. No size for the Whippets.
And Sheehan has been clutch with a couple of key offensive rebounds and putbacks this half. He's been unsung here for the Lancers, and a chance to get that lead back to 7 here.
Two for Sheehan. First one's good, 58 seconds remaining in the ball game, and the lead is 6. This one would make it a 3-possession game. And no good. Hunter, other direction. All the way to the basket, floats, and he'll go to the line, and he'll shoot 2.
Like you said, Casey, he's either gonna get to the basket and score, get to the basket and draw a foul, or both.
Draws the 4th foul on Gallerani. So he'll shoot 2, Malcolm Hunter. Chance for a quiet 30. 27 right now, so he's got a chance for a quiet 30. There's 28. We talked a little bit, Juice, about the helter-skelter nature of the ECC. New London putting a curtain on Fitch tonight. You got a score that speaks volumes to what we talked about, the helter-skelter nature. What do you got?
Huge upset for the Norwich Free Academy Wildcats, driving down 95 South and knocking off Daniel Hands in their gymnasium, 48-44. Hands, a team that handled Fitch earlier this season. So a huge win for the Wildcats, and they needed that win because that was only their 6th win of the season and a lot of tough games left. So big win for Jeff Brown and the Wildcats, and they keep it moving forward to the next game in the ECC.
Yeah, well, the thing is the ECC's been the issue. Out of conference, they've been really good. They beat Hamden. They went right to the wire with East Hartford. They beat Hand tonight. Like, they've been really good out of conference. They've given me hope that the ECC might be better than I think it is when they go out and play. It's been in conference that they've had some slip-ups. St. Bernard's took care of business tonight over East Lyme. So the state of the ECC, we know number 1, we know number 2. That showdown's coming next week. Maybe NFA making the case that they could be, but I agree. Windham, NFA, I don't know.
That island is big.
So, Sports Doctor, I'm curious. Who's the 3rd best team in the ECC?
I think NFA is. I think they have a lot of talent. NFA or Fitch. NFA is young and growing. They play very, very hard. I think very well against St. Bernard's the other night. So look for a 2-2-1 pressure here by Windham, Casey.
Well, they're going to need a stop, as it's a 4-point lead. They don't need a turnover, but they do need a stop.
Waterford wants to try to use as much clock as possible.
And there's a possible turnover. It goes back to Spencer, and he's going to get fouled. And we got a timeout first. So timeout before the foul. It's a 4-point lead for Waterford. And we'll keep it here. So St. Bernard's does their job. New London, big win tonight as well. NFA, big win tonight. Let's just find out, who wins this one in the next level, if you were.
And much like NFA going into tonight with 5 wins and really needing to find a way to get another win here in late January, that's where the Waterford Lancers are. And Coach Bassett coaching every play here, every breath in and out, every step right and left. They got to finish this. It's far from over, but they control their destiny. They have the ball, 22 seconds on the shot clock, about 37 on the game clock, so they can bleed some more time. Whippets want to try to get a steal. They ideally do not want to foul, but as it gets as the clock begins to run, you might want to think about extending this game. You're in that kind of no man's land where you're down 4, so you're going to need 2 possessions however you slice it.
Inbounding will be Sheehan. Going to try to get it into the hands of Gallerani. They do, and he gets it quickly to Spencer.
Coach Martineau deciding to play this possession out without fouling.
Spencer drives, floats, no good. That was a wild shot as he's backwards to the basket, Jordan-esque. Hunter hangs in the air, can't finish. And Waterford gets the benefit of the tipped ball out of bounds. And I think Hunter would have liked that one back.
Yeah, I think he was looking for the whistle on the contact, and it was a play on. It might have affected his shot. They got a foul here.
I want to get the ball. And the foul's going to be sending Parker Spencer to the line, so he'll shoot 2.
So a couple free throws here should ice it, but with the 3-point shot, you never know. It's not officially over until we see those zeros. Good opportunity here for the Lancers.
First one in and out for Spencer. Waterford is not going to make this comfortable for Coach Bassett regardless. Second one rattles in. The lead is 5.
No foul. Whatever you do, no foul.
Hunter, pump fake, 3, no good. Rebound, kicked back out. Not enough time. Gonzalez for 3, no good. And the Waterford High School Lancers have held on for a 5-point victory. 67-62 over the Windham Whippets. They improve to 6-8 and keep their postseason hopes alive. A necessary win. And of course, tonight's player of the game day is brought to you by Roberto's Log Cabin Restaurant. Nestled in the woods of Lebanon, Connecticut, Roberto's Log Cabin is the cozy rustic home of comfort food. It's family owned and operated. The cabin, as it's fondly known, has got a great menu. Burgers, the best ribs in the state. The hallway of history is in a beautifully renovated new section of the tavern. Great menu, craft beers, cocktails, big screen TVs all over the place. Stop in, see Rob, tell him that the game day crew said that Roberto's Log Cabin is the place to go, and the sports doctor has head coach Bill Bassett and the Roberto's Log Cabin player of the game.
Hey, Casey, our Roberto's Log Cabin player of the game tonight is Matthew Champagne. I'm sorry, Matthew. Take this down to Roberto's in Lebanon, wear it with your family, friends, T-shirt in the house. You guys get a free plate of wings. Nice job out there tonight. 22 points, but in my opinion, one of your biggest plays tonight was the offensive rebound where you fed one Shanahan and down late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I just try and work hard every play. I just try and stay within myself, try not to do too much outside of what I can do, and just help my team win. That's all it is.
In an up and down year, a win like this has got to feel pretty good.
Absolutely. Hey, I mean, we got to grind out wins, get in that state tournament, get above 500. That's the goals.
Now, offensively, you started to cook a little bit in the first half. How do you continue that going from game to game?
I really just, in practice, I shoot the shots that I shoot in game. It's just practice. Practice makes perfect. I mean, it's cliche, but you know how it goes.
Practice makes perfect. Coach, a huge win tonight. Your team really needed it. You've had trouble closing games out all season long. What was the difference tonight?
Difference tonight was really the team mentality. We talked about it at halftime. Some guys had bigger halves than somebody else, and we just had the only number we focused on tonight was number 6. We're going for our 6th win tonight. That's the only number that mattered at the end of the night, and they took care of business.
With a young group like this, Bill, trying to build trust and buy in and jumpstart this program, wins like this very important?
Oh, extremely important, right? They're learning how to win basketball games, how to put together an entire game plan and complete for 4 quarters.
And the trust you have in your players and your players develop on the court and stuff like that, it goes a long way.
It goes an extremely long way, right? They're playing so well together. You know, they're starting to trust each other more and more. And we, work on a little bit on execution down the stretch. We got to work on that. But they gutted it out. They won it on the defensive end tonight.
There's a goal in mind to try and qualify for the state tournament and extend the season.
Oh, it's always a goal, right? We missed a couple years ago, and that kind of reminded us how valuable that is. You don't take that for granted. So we're absolutely shooting for getting the state tournament and make a little run like we did last year.
Yep. Big win tonight. A lot of energy in the gym. Great job tonight, Casey. Lancer Nation back in the house. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. So, a big win for Waterford, keeping those postseason hopes alive and further confusing us as to the state of the league. St. Bernard's and New London, you're 1-2. You're on a collision course next week for the chance for New London to finally get to that level they want to get to. Fitch, I think, now has slipped back. NFA has risen up, so the gap between those two teams, and now Windham, who was kind of in control. So now we're looking at, hey, Killingly, Waterford, can you build off of this? Where's East Lyme in all of this mix? We're just kind of trying to figure out who's who in Division 1 and 2, and tonight didn't help.
Well, it helped the Lancers, and it helped Coach Bassett and his young men. They gritted it out. I mean, I think the difference was the hustle and effort on the offensive boards. They established that lead by doing that early in the game, and then late in the game we saw some critical offensive rebounds, gave them second chance opportunities. It wasn't pretty in that fourth quarter. Both teams did not shoot the ball well, but Waterford made 1 or 2 extra plays that they needed to, and they're feeling good tonight. And just like Coach Bassett said, Casey, you get in, you never know what happens, but you got to get in first.
Well, it's going to make for a great finish to the season and a great tournament in the ECC. Now, Lancer Nation, B+. We challenged the student sections for Waterford and for next week at Grosso Tech. Lancer Nation, you stepped up. You gave us the best student section that we've had thus far. Now, I've been hearing it from places like, for example, NFA. Said, hey, don't forget us. We're the premier student section. I'm going to do it this way. Grosso Tech, we're coming next week. I want to see Grosso Tech in the house. For all you other student sections out there, including you, NFA, we will be making an announcement before the ECC tournament to give all of the student sections an opportunity to step up in the ECC tournament and show us who is the premier student section this year. I've said that it's been down. I haven't seen the numbers. We're going to give all of you an opportunity, and we're going to have a little contest. But let's finish the year, our regular season, our last regular season game next Tuesday at Grosso Tech. Grosso, get in the house. And then all the rest of the student sections, pay attention, because we got a contest coming up for you for the ECC tournament.
Exciting stuff. Excited to go see Grosso Tech Eagles down in their home. Beautiful gymnasium and a spectacular player in Julius Washington. It'll be exciting to see Coach Tim Strong coach his team next week.
And we will be in the house. So for the Waterford Lancers, a big win. For Windham, back-to-back losses, back to the drawing board. For us at game day, another opportunity to be confused and amazed by the play here in the ECC. Next week, we'll be at Grosso Tech. Until then, for the coach, Chris Giusti, the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, and all the game day crew, I am Casey O'Neill. Good night, everybody.